Hi, this is Ron Gannett here from Community Church in beautiful Saddlebrook, Arizona. And as we begin the new year, we're asking ourselves, how can we have 2020 vision? And I think one of the best parts about vision is sort of looking over your shoulder at the past and cleaning up something that needs to be cleaned up. You know, maybe some failure, maybe a disappointment, maybe a discouragement, a bad attitude. What do I need to clean up from the year gone by so that it doesn't weigh me down as I go forward? You know, in 2 Chronicles 19, there was a king named Jehoshaphat, and he made a big mistake. He linked with King Ahab of the north to fight an enemy, and after he came back in defeat, the prophet came to him and said, you know, why did you make this drastic choice of linking with a pagan, with an ungodly king to do something like this? And immediately Jehoshaphat repented. He went throughout his country. He developed a system of discipleship and judgment for his people so that they would do what the Word of God would tell them to do. You know, I love what he says here in Chronicles 19 and verse 7. He said, I want you to do what the Lord tells you to do, because you need to realize that the fear of the Lord must be upon you in everything. And I thought, what a way to evaluate my past and to anticipate the future is to realize that the fear of the Lord, reverence from Him, should weigh every decision, every choice in what I do. You know, we've all been around people that never deal with their reality, who never deal with their past, who never deal with their bad habits that impact other people and hurt them. Never be a person like that. Ask yourself, God, by your grace, how can I see my failures? How can I confess them? And how I can move forward in a strong way? You know, one day I got up in the middle of the night and I had to do what old men have to do. And as I was walking around the corner, I bumped into the bedpost and it broke. Well, a good old boy said, oh, just get you some glue and clamp it and it'll be as good as new. And sure enough it was. You couldn't even tell where I broke it. Until a couple months later, I did the same thing and it broke. But when it broke the second time, it broke about 2 inches above the previous break. Because where I had broken it and repaired it, it was stronger than the wood was before. And my friends, I promise you, if you will examine your life, if you will deal with the stuff that shouldn't be there, and by God's grace move ahead, you'll be the stronger person for it. I was dealing with a guy this past week by internet, and he is struggling with some real significant problems in his life. And when he wrote me, he said, you know, this has been the worst year of my life. I feel like I'm walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Man, I immediately wrote him back and said, no, you're not. I said, it's been a tough year, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. Just deal with your past. Be honest with yourself. Confess it before God and move ahead into a beautiful future. My friends, I beg of you, don't enter the new year with a weight on your shoulders. Confess it, acknowledge it, release it, and allow God to take you into some beautiful places that you will discover. Oh, this coming year, let's have 2020 vision and to see what God can do even through those of us who make some mistakes.